I should be. Hello, hello.
right, good evening. My name is Cheryl Brown, and on behalf of the Board of Directors of the congregation, welcome to Beth Chaim.
Just eat the microphone.
Is that better? Before we begin, please note the exit doors on either side of the rear of the sanctuary and on both sides of the balcony. In case of an emergency, please follow the instructions of those of us on the bima or whatever. As we prepare for Shabbat worship, we ask that you turn off all electronic devices. For the benefit of those who cannot be here in the sanctuary, we live stream our services and our photographer posts pictures on social media. Please see an usher or board member if you do not want your image to appear. We ask that no one else take pictures during the sacred hour. Large print prayer books and hearing enhancement devices are available. Please ask any usher or board member if you used to wish either. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Everyone take a deep breath. It's been a long week. We've been very busy. It's been a spiritually... canner. Well, all right, so we'll hang out on that prayer. It's been a very full week. A lot of spiritual work has been done. And while we also do spiritual work on Shabbat, we also get to rest. So we'll take one more deep breath. And try to be in this Shabbat space. Ease into the end of the week. And just be. Page 10.
Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafe hayom, ma yafe hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafe hayom. Shabbat Shalom.
To help us bring in Shabbat with light, I invite Arlene Munkachi and Alana Berlinger to the Bima to help us light the Sabbath lights, pages 2 and 3 in your prayer book.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hakafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת
L'chaim. Thank you. Our service continues on pages 20 and 21 in your prayer books with Lecha Dodi, a poem that shares our excitement that Shabbat has finally arrived. 2021.
לך דודי, רק עלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. לך דודי, רק עלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. שמור נחור וגיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה לך דודי. כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, לראש מקדם נשוא פסוק מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה.
Verse 5.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורי, ובאורי, ובאורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה.
Verse 9.
בואי בשלום עצרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. לך דודי, כלכלה, בני שבת, נקבלה.
I invite you to turn to your neighbors, meet someone new, greet them Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to our friends at home.
It's this one now.
We continue on pages 26 and 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולם מעלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו אלא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
Backwards. Fake out. Page 32.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל ישראל. אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד, שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם, לעולם ועד.
Please be seated.
Ya la la ya la 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 ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. לה לה יה לה 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 יה לה 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 יה לה 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 יה לה לה לה. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. לה לה יה לה 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 יה לה 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 יה לה 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 לה. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. לי לי יה לה 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 למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We read responsively on the top of 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זה עלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל.
44 at the top.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We rise for the Amidah, which begins on 46 and continues on the even pages.
Na 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 spatai ta na 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 ufi agi tehilatecha ufi agi tehilatecha. ופי תהילתך, ופי תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מושיט אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated as we read together on the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat. On page 58, we'll need the first three words, Modim anachnu lach. We are grateful to you, the source of our blessings, and let us take a moment this Shabbat after Yom Kippur to share some blessings in our lives. I am so grateful that our community just got together to celebrate the new year and a fresh start, a clean slate, and may 5780 be one of health and happiness. Other blessings that we want to share gratitude. Thankful for a good medical report and college friends. Ruth? A good recovery so far. Alana's grateful for the staff and for this community and the services that we had recently, and we're grateful to you. So we'll say thank you.
מודים אנחנו לך, מודים אנחנו לך.
Other blessings. Yes. All right, to be with your nephew. So grateful to be with family and to have 2 Shabbat services in one night. Double mitzvah. You're grateful to see your family? Oh, fantastic, in the big city. All right, we'll pause to say thank you.
מודים אנחנו לך, מודים אנחנו לך.
All right. Okay, so to be taken to safety. Other blessings? And I hope that next year we'll be very grateful for exactly that. A peaceful 5780.
מודים אנחנו לך, מודים אנחנו לך.
We continue with our fervent prayer for peace on page 60. We want Shalom Rav, not a little, but a lot of peace.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, חסיד לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, חסיד לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, חסיד לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, חסיד לעולם. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך שים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך שים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך ושים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך ושים לעולם. נשים לעולם. נשים לעולם.
We take a few moments to sit in silence as we offer the prayers of our own hearts.
רצון עם רפי רגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי
Our thoughts turn to those in our lives in need of healing, whether that be healing of the body, healing of the mind, healing of the heart, or healing of the soul. We want to share out loud the names of those we love who can use our prayers this Shabbat and gain strength from this community with our words. To those names we add Megan Mary DePero, Rhoda Schwartz, Arlene Grable, Donald Molaski, Teddy Molaski, Nathan Hecker, Jeff Stoller, Claire Meyer, William Jackie Sola, Stephanie Herman, Zahava Butrivka, Steve Bizanoff, Marion Berman, Ken Pogrob, Jim Brown, and the Jewish community in Germany that is reeling from the attack this week. And we continue invoking the names of our ancestors with Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, 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 and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hold. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, 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 and bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Handouts for the first time that I've done since I'm here. So if you please, I think we have more or less enough, but if you could try to spread them out among you. So, in case you haven't heard, it was Yom Kippur a couple of days ago. I love Yom Kippur. I know that may sound a little crazy, but I love Yom Kippur as a Jew. I love being with community, and as a man of faith, I find it extraordinarily refreshing and renewing and an opportunity to do a lot of those things that we talk about. As a rabbi, I will tell you that I'm also aware that Yom Kippur serves the exact opposite of what we try to accomplish as rabbis, which is to inspire people and to help foster a closer relationship with God and the inspiration and strength that comes from faith. That Yom Kippur sometimes does the opposite for a lot of people, because we enforce a theology that many don't ascribe to, at least in the non-Orthodox community. It's about a God who literally, Rosh Hashanah, and Rosh Hashanah, it is written on Yom Kippur, it is sealed who will live and who will die, etc., of a God who actively does things not only for people, but to people. And so many people don't have that theology and don't have the tools to move past it for a whole number of reasons that it frustrates me. And normally during the High Holy Days, I try to do one sermon on theology, but because I had the honor of sharing the pulpit with a colleague and friend this year, I didn't have as many opportunities to do those kinds of things. So how lucky that the Shabbat after Yom Kippur gives us an opportunity to dabble in a little bit of that, I'm just going to do a quick taste of theology also as an advertisement. Because not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, October 20th, begins what was the rabbi's Sunday morning class. This year you have an extra treat, I think, because it's going to be a class essentially finding God. It's going to be a survey course of about 14 different theologies, and it's going to be team taught by myself, Rabbi Blum, Cantor Binder, and Ann. So not only will you get a smattering of different theologies, but you'll also get 4 of us who absolutely approach our own faith story, our own relationship with God in slightly different ways. And hopefully it'll give you a chance to find and reinforce what your faith may already be, or to explore other opportunities. Because I will tell you, I personally don't believe that there is such thing as an atheist. I believe there are people who have not yet found a definition of God which they can affirm. But I don't believe that there is such thing as someone who does not and never will or can believe in God. So with that, this week's Torah portion, does anyone have the clicker? It begins book of Deuteronomy 32. Now, just to catch up really quickly, we've been on this journey, you know. We went in the book of Numbers through 39 plus years of wandering. We get to the end of the book of Numbers, and Moses knows that he's not going into the promised land. He doesn't get to cross the river Jordan. And because he doesn't get to go, he decides, as I said, Yom Kippur morning, to give the longest sermon of any rabbi's career, the book of Deuteronomy, which recaps the history of our people and the journey. It goes through some of the mitzvot we've already had. It tells the people some of what they'll need to know for when they do get to cross with Joshua into the promised land. And then this is the next to last portion. It's called Ha'azinu. Give ear, O heavens, let me speak. Let the earth hear the words I utter. May my discourse come down as the rain, my speech distill as the dew, like showers on young growth, like droplets on the grass. For the sake of Adonai, I proclaim, give glory to our God. Moses speaking. This is his introduction to Ha'azinu. It's some of the most beautiful biblical poetry of all. And then smatterings, the next screen. Smatterings through the rest of the chapter is Moses describing how he understands God. The rock, God's deeds are perfect. Yes, all God's ways are just. A faithful God never falls. True and upright is God. God is the source who created you. God the creator. God is just, fashioned you and made you endure. God wounds and heals. On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed. Those who reject God will be punished. Those who harm Israel will be punished. This is the kind of stuff, together with High Holy Day theology, that has people go, I don't want in. That isn't my God. Or having to work past it to have other frameworks that they can affirm how to understand this through a different light and in different ways. I will tell you, there are so many different wonderful theologies about God and the understanding of a power greater than oneself that either revisit this, reinterpret it, or for some, come at it in an entirely different direction. And I gave you a smattering of some of the things that we're going to do in the course, just to show you. So on the side that begins Yoma 69b, this comes from the Talmud around the year 500, plus or minus a couple of hundred years. The rabbis tell the story of the people who capture the Yetzer Hara. So there's this rabbinic notion, you know, the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other? It's very Christian, we think. It comes from Judaism. It's not necessarily a devil and an angel, it's the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer HaTov. The angel of the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination. The rabbis believed and taught that both of those are produced and put into creation by God. That inclination within us to do good and the inclination to do evil. And interestingly enough, who were the ones that had the strongest inclination to do evil? Not the ones who do evil. The rabbis taught that it's the most righteous among us who have the strongest inclination to do the wrong thing. But because they study Torah and practice and work it, as we say, because they actually had to, that's how they fought those urges and lived a life of righteousness. I think it's a wonderful way of thinking about God, that we can be inspired towards goodness, and we also understand that we all can be inspired on that wrong path. The question is, what program do we put ourselves on? What way do we fight those inclinations to make sure that we do live a life of righteousness and justice and beauty? And for the rabbis, that is Torah. I happen to think Torah is also, as they call it, the elixir to life, that which fixes the evil inclination. And we're going to talk in the course about the rabbinic approaches that come from there, and a way that the rabbis taught us that we can be inspired by God to move on a path of righteousness. Then you have Maimonides and the Guide for the Perplexed. Maimonides is the perfect theologian for those who love science, who love proof, because Maimonides believed he proved that God exists. Now, what he saw as proofs, and we may see as proofs today, are a little different, but he was very into the concrete and very into this. He was both a philosopher, an astronomer, and a medical doctor, a physician. Loved that side of things. And he comes from, born in 1135 in Cordoba, Spain, makes his way to, eventually to Egypt, and is one of our greatest philosophers and theologians of all time. He liked to talk at times on a much higher level than he believed the average person could really understand. He called one of his books The Guide for the Perplexed. It was supposed to be a letter to one of his students, but he also took the approach that most people wouldn't understand it, so it was written in code. And he wanted to prove that both faith and reason and logic both come from God, and therefore they were totally reconcilable, that they were one and the same, even though they may come out to be slightly different or appear to be different. And he works through all of these theologies of how to understand God. He eventually gets to the conclusion, and we're going to talk about his theory of negative attributes, that you can't define God only ever in the positive. God is, you can only define God as not. Because once you say God is something, then you've now made the infinite finite, in which case you've put God in a box and God doesn't belong in a box. But in the end, what Maimonides comes to the same conclusion that Job does in the book of Job. And that is, if you think you can figure out why God does what God does, you've got another thing coming. Because God is so far beyond where we are that to try to understand it and put a label on it is impossible. That says, it's the process of striving to know more that Maimonides was most concerned about. Last one I'm going to do for just today, if you want to read more, it's here, is Martin Buber, one of my all-time favorites. And if you don't speak German, and even if you do, understanding Buber in a primary text is really like reading the tax code and not being an attorney or an accountant, because he writes in depth in a sentence what would normally take people to write pages and pages. And he believed and taught essentially that the way to understand God, the way to come close to God, is through relationships that we have with each other and even with inanimate objects and other kinds of creation in life. That we can only get to God when we connect with people. So I'll get personal for just a second. It's his theology that helps me understand why I can see God in my wife's eyes. And I mean that because she understands Epiphany. She has that relationship with God where you can tell that she connects and is transformed in a moment. I'm the rabbi in the house. I don't get it. You know those people who love exercise? Maybe some of you do it. And they get that endorphin kick in and they talk about how it becomes easy and they get a high. Sorry, I've actually been working out for 3 months. I have never gotten a high from exercise and can't imagine it ever happening. However, I understand it. My wife gets that spiritual connection. When I see it in her eyes, I come to understand God in an entirely different way. And that's why I understand Buber and how I love to teach Buber. That when we can see and feel that connection, whether it's with someone we love or a sunset or whatever it might be, that gives us a glimpse into something greater than ourselves, to be inspired towards goodness. And I think it's a beautiful gift. So for those of you who hopefully have a faith and want to be able to put it into a different language and understand, that I mentioned there's going to be a course starting on October the 20th on Sunday. And for those who don't yet have a faith, who don't yet have a way of understanding that you can connect with, I bet you that Rabbi Blum or Cantor Binder or Ann or maybe even me, maybe we can give you something, a gift, that will help give your life a little bit more understanding of where we are and where we hope to be. At least we're going to try. Shabbat Shalom.
Our service continues on page 282 as we rise and open the ark. 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב עיקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
Please be seated as we turn to Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. If I call your loved one's name, please rise at your seat so we can honor their memory. We remember one who died this week, Mary Mitzi Birnbaum, grandmother of Lisa Burns, and several who we lost in the last month, whose loved ones are in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days of mourning. Morton Meyer, uncle of David Lichtenstein, John Rothman, grandfather of Carly Siditsky, Alan Lovitch, husband of Judy, and David Scott Albert. And we remember the following individuals whose yahrzeit we honor this Shabbat, who died at this time in years past. Aaron Kodowitz, Irving Miller, Rose Horowitz, Ellen Traberman, Walter Blumenthal, Bruce Nasberg, Louis Slutskin, Solomon Goldstein, Selma Gutman, Gladys Bierman, Abraham Karyevsky, Pauline Jacobs, Evelyn Leibowitz, Max Markowitz, Ruth Gold, Eleanor Nash, Helene Nelson, Edith Pearl, Miriam Resnick, Stanley Turk, Kenneth Rosenberg, Abraham Judah Liska, Esther Rosenberg, Pauline Newman, Leonard Unger, Helen Burek, Ronald Leff, Faye Thune, Harry Weisberg, Sylvia Grossbard, Hyman Zatz, Ida Steinberg, Ruth Karp, and Esther Small. We rise as one community and join in the words of Mourner's Kaddish together. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, v'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach, le'alam u'almei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal shemei dekudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. Please be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us this evening. I would like to offer our appreciation to the ushers and Oneg hosts and hostesses for their help tonight. Celebrate Sukkot with us this Sunday. Religious school parents and students start the morning with a program in the sanctuary and end the morning with a program in the sukkah, singing, including songs, blessings, and a holiday snack. And at 7 p.m., please bring your friends and neighbors for an evening to celebrate Sukkot and the values inspired by this holiday. Our interfaith evening will be a celebration of community as we open our doors to all and join together in prayer, song, and stories. The evening will conclude with cookies and conversation. Don't forget to reserve your spot for dinner next Sunday as we gather to celebrate Simchat Torah. Dinner begins at 5. The celebration will continue at 6 in the sanctuary, where we will end and begin the annual Torah cycle.
Thank you.
And it should add, the service that evening is a rock service. So come and rock out with the Torah. Rock out and roll the Torah.
Also, this is a biennial year, which means that the entire Reform movement is getting together in Chicago early December of this year. Early bird registration is almost up. If you'd like to connect with thousands of other Reformed Jews from all over the world, please see me after this. You can come for the weekend. You can come for the couple of days during the week. There's lots of amazing learning and leadership development, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. We're going to finish up with Adonai Oz on the screen. Although if you really want to use the book, it's on page 338. And then we'll join together in Motzi and blessing.
Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai oz oz lamo yitain. Adonai oz lamo yitain. Adonai oz lamo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo.
If everyone could please come in close. We're a small group tonight. Come on down. The challah is right. Cantor, if you'll just move your music stand, we can fill on in. Come on, plenty of room. Come on in, come on in. All right. Yeah, no, really, no. Let's snuggle up. Ready.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Ooh, it's nice and soft. All right, I'm going to let that go. Nothing like breaking bread to bring us together. And it's a good one. All right, the hall is going to go around, but we're going to conclude as we bless each other. So if you'd like to put your arms around your neighbor. God, thank you for bringing us together this Shabbat in the new year. We are new versions of ourselves. We want to be better versions of ourselves. Let us start this Shabbat with rest and renewal and come out refreshed and ready to see that new year 5780 with new eyes.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless us and protect us.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light shine upon us and be gracious to us.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's eyes remain focused upon us, and may God grant us and all peoples of this world with God's greatest gift of all, the gift of peace.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.